Hi class, how are you today? That's similar to what you said last time. The learning target for today is to determine if two polygons are similar and find missing measures of similar polygons. So 2 parts to the learning target. Scale is a 3. I can determine if two polygons are similar and find missing measures of similar polygons. 2, I can determine if two polygons are similar or find missing measures of similar polygons. 1, I can use ratios and proportions to solve problems, which, if you remember, was a 3 in the last video. So ratios and proportions will be used a lot in this lesson, so if you can at least do ratios and proportions, you're at a 1. And 0, if you still cannot do ratios and proportions to solve problems, you're at a 0. All right, let's get started. First, we want to know, what are similar polygons? What makes two polygons similar? So, two polygons are similar if and only if their corresponding angles are congruent and their corresponding sides are proportional. So, what this means is two polygons are similar if and only if their corresponding angles are congruent. So that means, in this case, D has to be congruent to H, A congruent to E, B congruent to F, and C congruent to G. I know that's lots of lines, but 4 angles, each congruent to 4 different angles. So 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. And their sides have to be proportional. So, for example, if I wrote the sides were 2, 4, 6, and 8, then the other polygon would need to have proportional sides. So let's just say I had 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. We need to know, are they proportional? So we can look and say 2 is corresponding to 1, and 4 is corresponding to 2, and we can set that up in a nice little proportion. So let's say 2 to 1, and 4 to 2, and we can even keep going for all the sides. So then 6 to 3, and 8 to 4. If all those sides, if all those ratios end up equaling each other, then the polygons are proportional and similar. So 2 over 1 is 2, 4 over 2 is 2, 6 over 3 is 2, 8 over 4 is 2. So they are indeed proportional. So those two polygons are similar. And the scale factor, it depends from which you're talking about. If you're talking about from the bigger one to the smaller one, then it's a scale factor of 1/2. If it's from the smaller one to the bigger one, it's a scale factor of 2. So once you know that these are proportional, and the polygons are similar, you would write it out. So the statement would say A, B, C, D, and similar is just a little tilde instead of having the equal sign and the tilde, like congruency, similar is just the tilde. Then you have to make sure, just like congruency, it's in order. So, if we said A, B, C, D, that went the one with 2 arcs, the one with 3 arcs, the one with 4 arcs, then the one with 1 arc. So, E, F, G, H. So remember, order matters. Alright, now let's find some missing sides. So in this problem we have triangle ABC and triangle FED. So we want to find out a few things. First, we want to solve for x. Then we want to find this side FD. Then we want to find what is the scale factor from ABC to FED. So, these triangles are similar, and in a problem it would be stated. And you have to find out, first, x. What is the value of x? So you set this up in a proportion. So we've got two sides over here, 8 and 12. So you say 8 over 12. And then we want that to look over here. So we want these to correspond to over here. So we have, notice this is, call it angle 1 and angle 2. So angle 1 and angle 2. Those correspond. So 8 corresponds to 6. And 12, the angle 1 and angle 3, corresponds to x minus 5, angle 1 and angle 3. So you have to make sure that they correspond correctly. Then it's a proportion, so you solve. So you have 8 times x minus 5 equals 12 times 6, or 8x minus 40 equals 72. So then add 40 to both sides. That will give you 8x equals 112. Divide both sides by 8. And that will give you x equals 14. So that's one of the first things you wanted to find. X equals 14. Now you want to find out what is side FE. Well, that's going to be x minus 5, or 14 minus 5, which is 9. Now we need the scale factor. So the scale factor, all you have to do is find out what the ratio is fully reduced. So all you have to do is look at one set of these, and you can easily find the scale factor. 8 over 12, 8 to 6, so the corresponding side 8 to the corresponding side 6, so 8 over 6. But to get it from this one to this one, you have to actually do the opposite, so 6 over 8. 6 over 8, which reduces to 3 over 4. So the scale factor is 3/4. So the three things you needed to find, x is 14, FE is 9, and the scale factor is 3/4. Alright, now time for the sponge. So, for the first two, I want you to determine if the following polygons are similar. So just yes or no, are they similar? There's a lot of work that you can show there, but it's just a yes or a no there. That's all I need. So for 1 and 2, yes or no, are they similar? And then for 3 and 4, I want you to solve for x using each pair of similar polygons. So just make sure for 3 and 4 to solve for x using each pair of similar polygons based on what we learned today. Alright, that's it for this lesson. Once again, please make sure to take notes in the entire lesson, attempt the sponge, take a picture, submit everything to Doodle Classroom, don't forget to rate yourself, and have a good night.